Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about brachial plexus. Brachial plexus is nothing but a group of nerves which arise from the cervical roots. So they form roots, from roots to trunk, trunks to divisions, and then from divisions they will form the cords, various cords, and from the cords arise numerous branches. So now we are going to we are going to study about the various roots and the branches. So it arises from C5 to T1, sometimes from C4, then it is called as prefix, sometimes from T2, that is called as postfixed. Then they unite to form the upper, middle, and lower trunks. And from the upper and middle, from the trunks, there comes anterior and posterior divisions for each of the three, and these divisions in turn join to form lateral, medial, and posterior cords. And from the cords arise the various branches. So we have to draw, and that is how we will learn. Okay, so we have to draw, and now you can follow what I draw. This is very simple diagrammatic representation. So first we'll draw the cervical roots. Okay, so first the roots. So C5, C6, C7, C8, and T1. So all these roots I have drawn here, and from the C5 and C6 roots, they will unite together to form the upper trunk. C7 will form the middle trunk, and C8 and T1 will form the lower trunk. So is it clear? So C5 and C6 the upper trunk, C7 the middle trunk, C8 and T1 the lower trunk. So each of these trunks will divide into divisions. So the divisions are anterior and posterior divisions. So each of them divides into anterior. I'm drawing all the anterior in blue color. So all these are anterior divisions, and I'm drawing the posterior divisions in orange. So all these are the posterior divisions. Now comes the cords. So again a different color for the cords. So first I am drawing the lateral cord, which is formed by the unison of the anterior divisions of both upper and middle trunk. So upper and middle trunks will unite together to form the lateral trunk, anterior divisions. Then drawing the posterior cord. Posterior cord will be formed by the unison of all the three posterior divisions. So all the three posterior divisions will unite together to form the posterior cord. And then the remaining is the anterior division of the lower trunk, right? So that will continue as the medial cord. I hope this is clear, right? So C5 and C6 unites to form the upper trunk, C7 will continue as middle, C8 and T1 as the lower trunk. So they divide into anterior and posterior. Anterior divisions of upper and middle will form the lateral trunk, anterior division of lower will form the medial trunk, and the posterior divisions of all three will form the posterior cord. So that will summarize what are the anatomy of the brachial plexus. So now branches. Coming to branches, you can divide the branches based on the relationship to the clavicle as supraclavicular or infraclavicular. Supraclavicular means those branches arising from the roots and the trunks. So those branches arising from the roots and the trunks are what are called as supraclavicular. So from the roots we have two. One is the long thoracic nerve of Bell and the dorsal scapular nerve. Okay, there are of course branches to phrenic nerve, and now I'll show the branches from the roots. So here in blue I have drawn from C5 1, and C5, C6 and C7 will unite together to form the long thoracic nerve of Bell. And from C5 we get the dorsal scapular nerve. From C5 we are getting the dorsal scapular nerve. C5, C6 and C7 roots will together form the long thoracic nerve. So what does this supply? The long thoracic nerve will supply the serratus anterior. The dorsal scapular nerve will supply the rhomboids. Okay, so now coming to the branches arising from the trunk. So from the trunk we have suprascapular nerve, then we have nerve to subclavius. So these are two S's. Remember two S. and that is the suprascapular nerve and the nerve to subclavius. So again coming here, I'm drawing the from the upper trunk, that is from C5 and C6 only, that arises. So there are two S's. One is the nerve to subclavius and the suprascapular nerve. So now there are no branches from the divisions. You have to remember this. So there are no branches from the divisions. So from the cord, we have the various branches which we are going to read now. From the lateral cord, we have the lateral pectoral nerve, C5, C6 and C7. Musculocutaneous nerve, again C5, C6 and C7. And finally, the lateral root of the median nerve. You can remember Lata Mangeshkar. So LM. And that is C6 and C7. So lateral cord, 3 nerves. Then coming to the medial cord. In the medial cord, we have the medial root of median nerve. We have the lateral root from the lateral cord, the medial root from the medial cord. Then we have the medial pectoral nerve. We had the lateral pectoral nerve there. Now we are having the medial pectoral nerve here. And then we have the medial cutaneous nerve of arm and forearm. So that is very important. Medial cutaneous nerve of arm and forearm. And finally, the most important is the ulnar nerve. So all this will have a root value of C8 and T1, right? They're going to have a root value of C8 to T1 because it is arising from the medial cord. So it is going to have only C8 and T1. So now coming to the branches arising from the posterior cord, you can remember a mnemonic called ulnar. U for upper, L for lower subscapular nerves, and the N is for the nerve to latissimus dorsi, and A is for the axillary nerve, and this nerve to latissimus dorsi is also called as thoracodorsal nerve. So A is for axillary nerve and R is for radial nerve. So this pretty much sums up the anatomy of the brachial plexus. Thank you.